Have you ever wondered if our emotions could evolve and transform over time? What if I told you that the charismatic Bong, that imaginary friend who won our hearts in Inside Out, might not have disappeared for good? Instead, he could have transformed into a new emotion. Get ready for an intriguing journey full of surprises that will challenge your perceptions of Riley's complex emotional world. And this video will explore a fascinating theory that suggests Bong and the emotion shame might actually be the same entity. Could that beloved imaginary friend, who touched us so deeply, have transformed into a feeling so profound and human? Stick with us until the end to unravel this theory and see how it might revolutionize your understanding of the film. Let's embark on this adventure together. After the first posters and teasers for the highly anticipated sequel to Inside Out were released, a wave of fans began to notice something intriguing: a mysterious resemblance between Bong, Riley's unforgettable imaginary friend, and the new emotion, shame. Could it be that these two seemingly distinct characters are actually the same entity? Even with only a few glimpses in the teaser, many firmly believe that Bong and shame are, in some way, the same magical and complex figure. Bong, the imaginary companion who once brought so much joy and adventure to Riley's childhood, left an indelible mark on all of us. He played a crucial role, filling Riley's life with laughter and moments of happiness. But as Riley matured, Bong heroically sacrificed himself to ensure that joy and sadness could return to the control center of her emotions, leaving a void that is hard to fill. In Inside Out, each emotion plays a vital role in Riley's emotional journey. Joy fills her world with light and laughter, sadness helps her cope with inevitable losses, fear protects her from dangers, disgust keeps undesirable things at bay, and anger deals with everyday frustrations. And now, with the introduction of shame, we are led to explore the deeper realms of discomfort and self-criticism, feelings we all face when we believe we have failed or made a mistake. When Bong disappeared into the dark memory dump in Inside Out, it seemed that he had been relegated to a lost memory of Riley's childhood. But what if that wasn't the whole story? What if, instead of being destroyed, Bong transformed, evolving to become a vital part of Riley's complex emotional structure? As she enters the turbulent waters of adolescence at 13, Bong's innocence metamorphoses to help Riley face new, deeper, and more intricate emotions. Riley now finds herself awash in a sea of complicated and intense feelings. Among them, shame stands out as a crucial emotion at this stage of her life. Shame emerges as a reflection of self-criticism and social awareness that becomes central during adolescence. Bong, who once embodied the pure joy and uncomplicated creativity of childhood, now transforms to mirror this new emotional need, guiding Riley through feelings of inadequacy and embarrassment. Notably, both Bong and the emotion shame share an intrinsic melancholy. Bong, in his sacrifice to help joy and sadness return to the control center, displayed a profound sadness. Similarly, shame is depicted with a hunched posture and a downcast expression, suggesting a natural evolution from that painful sacrifice. There is also a special connection between sadness and these two entities. In Inside Out, sadness provided vital comfort to Bong, allowing him to express his feelings and feel better. Although we don't see this explicit relationship in Inside Out 2, we notice a new interaction with shame. As sadness sympathizes with shame, and when she withdraws to avoid being found by anxiety, shame decides to help sadness, recognizing that the discomfort was hurting Riley. This subtle collaboration reveals a deep connection between Bong and shame, showing how they are intertwined through empathy and sacrifice, helping Riley navigate her emotions. What most supports this theory is the color palette of the two characters. Both are predominantly pink, a color that symbolizes their connection and highlights the softness and complexity of their existences. Bong's sacrifice and his fall into the dark memory dump can be seen as a powerful metaphor for transformation. Just as Riley grows and adapts to new phases of life, her emotions and even her imaginary friends also transform and evolve. Bong, who once guided Riley through her childhood adventures, now re-emerges as shame, leading her through the intricate and often uncomfortable social realities of adolescence. He maintains his role as a guide, but now in a new form, more suited to Riley's complex emotional needs. As the transition from Bong to shame can be interpreted as an essential emotional redefinition, Bong, as an imaginary friend, is no longer needed in Riley's life, but his essence, his spirit, remains crucial. He transforms to help Riley navigate the tumultuous sea of emotions that arise with adolescence, maintaining his presence in a way that continues to influence and support her emotional development. Something that really strengthens this theory is the fact that we don't see these new emotions like shame appearing out of nowhere as joy and sadness did. Where did these emotions come from? Why weren't they born with Riley from the start? The lack of answers to these questions leaves room for speculation and suggests that new emotions might emerge from figures we already know and love. And there's an intriguing detail that makes this connection even stronger: an Easter egg on Joy's bed. Up there, we see a small Bing Bong in origami form, decorating the scene. This might indicate that Bing Bong did not disappear completely, but that his essence persists in a subtle and meaningful way. In other words, Bing Bong, Riley's beloved imaginary friend, may no longer be visible to the eye, but his essence remains alive and present in a more subtle and profound way in her emotional life. In Inside Out, Bing Bong's farewell is not a definitive end, but a transition to a new form of existence within Riley's mind. He transforms into a fundamental part of her emotional structure, reflecting the ongoing need to adapt and understand emotions as she grows. This process exemplifies how our childhood experiences and memories metamorphose into more complex components of our psyche. The transformation of Bing Bong into shame illustrates the incredible capacity for emotions and aspects of the mind to evolve over time. Bing Bong, who once symbolized the joy and innocence of childhood, now resurfaces as an emotion dealing with feelings of inadequacy and self-criticism, essential during Riley's tumultuous adolescence. Shame is not simply a negative emotion, it is a crucial part of emotional development that helps Riley reflect on her actions and adapt to social expectations. This transformation demonstrates how emotions are dynamic and can change to reflect the emotional needs of each phase of life. The transition of Bing Bong is not just a change of form, but a profound redefinition of his role in Riley's life. As an imaginary friend, Bing Bong offered companionship and magical adventures, bringing joy and comfort. Now, as Shame, he takes on the role of a guide in new emotional territory, helping Riley cope with the challenges and complexities of social interactions in adolescence. This evolution is essential for Riley to understand and navigate the nuances of her emotions and find her place in the world. Bing Bong, in the form of Shame, continues to be a guiding presence, proving that even the most cherished parts of our childhood can evolve and accompany us throughout life, helping us grow and face new challenges. A Bing Bong's journey towards becoming Shame also reflects a transformation that many of us experience throughout our lives. Aspects of our childhood that once brought us joy and comfort often transform into essential tools for dealing with new situations and challenges. The memory of Bing Bong, like many of our childhood memories, evolves and adapts to help us cope with the complexities of adult life. Thus, he continues to exist, no longer as a visible imaginary friend, but as an emotion fundamental to Riley's emotional development and adaptation. Does this theory make sense to you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Now let's delve into the arguments that debunk this theory. First, Bing Bong is not an emotion, but an imaginary friend, and emotions cannot simply leave their world and reappear in another context. Bing Bong was a companion during Riley's childhood, a time marked by imagination and fantasy. As we grow older, we become more rational and often leave behind these elements of imagination that no longer fit into our adult perception of reality. Therefore, it is natural for Bing Bong to be forgotten by Riley and eventually disappear completely from her conscious memory. Moreover, even though there is a small Bing Bong origami on Joy's bed, it is not enough to confirm the theory that he transformed into a new emotion. This detail could simply be a tribute from Joy to the character, a way for her to remember the happy moments Riley had with Bing Bong. It does not necessarily imply a transformation or a literal continuation of his existence. To reinforce this perspective, the film's director Kelsey Mann mentioned in an interview that he chose not to bring Bing Bong back in Inside Out 2 out of respect for the first film and the team involved. He stated that he generally does not like to make sequels because he believes they can disrespect the original film. Therefore, he decided not to reintroduce the forgotten character, maintaining the integrity of the original story. And honestly, I agree with him. After all, Kelsey Mann was not the director of the first film. That role was taken by Pete Docter, the creative mind behind the original work. Bringing Bing Bong back could create a plot hole, disrespecting the narrative coherence established in the first film for personal reasons. Maintaining the integrity of the story and the characters is crucial to preserving the magic and impact of the original work. I confess that I really liked this theory, but it does not make sense within the context of the film. It would have been amazing to see Bing Bong again, perhaps in some lost memory. Imagine the emotion of everyone, including mine, at seeing him again. Unfortunately, we have to accept that he was completely forgotten by Riley in the first film, and that is the sad reality that the story presents to us. However, I like to imagine an alternative and somewhat curious theory. What if Bing Bong was not just an imaginary friend that Riley created in her mind? What if he was actually a monster that she saw in her room? Imagine that Bing Bong worked as a comedian at Monsters Inc. and visited Riley every night to make her laugh. Riley's creative mind then turned him into an imaginary friend full of adventures and joy. This idea really fascinates me. I've talked more about this theory here, and I'll leave the link on the end screen for you to check out and learn more about my content. I hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments on what you think of these theories. See you in the next video.